What's up, guys? Welcome back to another weekly Forex analysis video. This is going to be for October 6th up until the 11th. So last week we had decent trades. Unfortunately, they were break even. I even put it in my Telegram. It's sometimes really annoying when you see all the pairs go in the direction you want, but like the one or two trades that you did have were break even trades or maybe even lost trades, and it's just like, oh, I should have chose the other pair instead of this pair. But it is what it is. We have another solid week coming up. So let's go into the charts and let me explain a couple things that I'm a little worried about, but also some good setups that might be coming up. All right, so first we're on Euro GBP. So this pair is looking the cleanest out of all the pairs that I have today. We have a total of 4 pairs that I want to talk about, and then a fifth will be a maybe. That's Euro USD. But overall, on almost every single pair, there was this huge spike upwards or spike downwards. This was a very large news event that occurred, and honestly, it makes it really hard for my strategy to line up now since it's really early and there's not enough market structure that was developed after this push already happened. So like even here, if I draw my fib sequence from the bottom of the push to the top, we can see that we're already past our 0.618 zone. It's not lining up super well with our area of interest. So the Fibonacci sequence is unfortunately going to be really difficult to use on some of these pairs where they're like the pushes are really big. So overall, it's going to be a little iffy this week. I might not have to trade, but we'll just see if it lines up well. First up, we have Euro GBP looking very clean. The news event broke us out, heading to the upward direction. This was somewhat of a counter trend trade I was looking for, I believe, last week, or maybe this was a continuation. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, counter trend trade. I explained this one in my Telegram that if I took profits here, I could have had a 1.7, but price action wicked me into my break even. Not even wicked me, it went all the way into my break even. So, but anyways, big strong push upwards, turning everything into the bullish, coming back, retesting our area of interest, retesting our 4-hour EMA as well, looking to go long. So that's looking pretty good. Same with daily, we have a nice double bottom here, coming back, retesting the neckline of the double bottom before we head long. So we'll see what happens on the lower time frame. Just kind of waiting for a lower time frame shift of structure, but it's very hard to see because a lower time shift of structure, if it doesn't decide to make a lower low here and then break above it to come back and retest, what it's going to have to do is break all the way above here. And at this point, like, we're not trying to wait for it to come back here to go long. You know what I mean? Like, that's just way too much market structure to be developed, and it's just not realistic, right? It's probably going to do something like this to continue upwards. So we'll see what happens. In my mind, I'm just kind of hoping for a lower low and then breaking into a bullish market structure on the lower time frame. And then we come back, maybe we can use a nice 1 hour fib sequence here and get our nice entry in somewhere along here, right? So this is like the goal for us. But then again, this is us like trying to predict the market, and we don't want to do that. We want to see what the market gives us. So that's Euro GBP. GBP NZD also looking pretty strong for some longs as well. We have a nice break of structure into the bullish direction on the daily time frame, right? We were bearish, boom, we break above this previous point here. So now we are bullish. All we're waiting for is a retracement back into this area of interest or this lower area of interest. I would prefer this upper area of interest, honestly, but the thing is, it's like, I wrote meh here because it's like not the cleanest, right? We have some resistance, support, but we can see it breaks through it, honestly, so much that it makes me like not really want to consider it an area of interest. But the thing is that there are some points where it does use it as resistance, support, and then also it lines, hopefully is going to line up pretty well with our 4-hour EMA, our 2-hour EMA, our 1-hour EMA. Like, a lot of things have potential for lining up super strong in this area. So that's why I have it there. Like I said before, it's not lining up with our fib sequence, which is really unfortunate. I would love for it to line up with the fib sequence because it just makes me extra safe and secure. I really don't want to have to do something like this. So if I do enter this position, this might be like a very low risk trade, maybe like 0.5% when I normally trade 1 to 2%, and just kind of maybe shoot for something like this with a very tight stop loss. We'll see. I'm not really making that decision right now. I want to see what the market structure develops over the next 1 or 2 days. Next up is USD JPY. This pair has been screwing us over, bro. It's very unfortunate. I'm not too big of a fan of trading these USD JPY pairs anymore, or any JPY pair, because it's just like, I feel like it's not following market structure too cleanly. We had two really good positions opened 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, those stopped out, but they followed our trading plan. And then this trade was also a really good trade. News event brought us all the way up until like a 1.5. I decided not to cash out because I expected the New York session to continue pushing price downwards, but we did not see that. And it just continued and put us out at break even. I had my stop loss at break even, so it is what it is. And now everything is very, very bullish. It does look very strong though in the bullish direction, but again, it's not really lining up super well with our fib sequence because this upper area of interest is what I believe it might bounce off of first. I think it might come back, retrace into this area, and then go long. We have our daily EMA, we have 4-hour EMA coming up here, and then, you know, all these lower time frame, the 2-hour, the 1 hour is going to be right in this area. So everything else of our strategy is lining up super well besides the fib sequence, which is really unfortunate, because fib sequence is like a big chunk of it. You know, I really like to enter at these zones, the 0.5 or the 0.618. So it is what it is. I'm not sure if I want to trade it. I'm going to keep it on my watch list. But if I start to see rejections here into the bullish side, we see our shift of structure, then I'm probably going to enter if we have a lower time frame fib sequence that maybe we can use, right? So if we get something down here, get a lower time frame shift of structure again, then maybe something like this is where we can have potential entries, right? So we'll see. Don't want to force it again. Like I said, you know, we're just here to watch what the market does. We're not forcing what the market does because you can't. And then lastly is AUD USD. This one is looking super clean on the weekly, on the daily. It's looking very strong too. The only unfortunate thing is this kind of weird little like bump here, this bump and run upwards, because now that it broke below here, it's like, do I want to count this as bearish technically for the daily time frame? I think on some extent, yes, because it is closing below like this point as well. So it is pretty bearish, but weekly is very strong bullish. Same with 4-hour, it's bearish. But we're at a decent area of interest. The only thing I do not like as well is that our lower time frame EMAs are not going to be lining up with our area of interest. Like we're way below that. We're way below this one. We're way below this one. It's really only the daily that we have that's going to assist us. So that's why it's on the bottom of my watch list, because it looks like a very strong area of interest, right? We have a lot of resistance here, support here, and now we're hopefully going to use this as support again. But, you know, everything else of our strategy is not lining up super well. So just kind of seeing if we could get maybe a shift of structure to the bullish upside. But then again, remember, like if it doesn't break low again, we're going to have to see some shift of structure that breaks above here and then come back. And it's like, do I even want to trade at that point? It's like, nah, it's not worth it. Not high probability. So those are the four main pairs. And then Euro USD is a maybe, just simply because we had a nice break below this area of interest here. Like I said before, it's not the strongest area of interest, but on the weekly time frame, it is strong. We have a top resistance, resistance, resistance. This one not really used as resistance here. We can see on the daily, it probably used it as some resistance here, right? Resistance, resistance, support. But here also used as support, support. So hopefully going to just come back, retest, use this daily EMA as resistance as well, and then head to the downside. But, you know, like I said before, the fib sequence is not lining up well, which is really unfortunate. We also have a lot of USD news. It's these months where the Forex markets become the most volatile, right? We have the US presidency elections coming up, which is huge. Those are crazy for the markets. Then we're like in the middle of a war with, you know, across seas and stuff like that. And it's getting worse. And like people are shooting missiles at each other now. So overnight something might happen and all the markets will just like flip and go the other direction. So it's very hard to decipher where the markets are going to go only using technical analysis when the fundamental analysis is very strong during these months. So you have to be very precautious. But overall, those are my 5 pairs for the week. We have 4 main ones and then 1 meh. But anyways, that's basically it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you holding all the way to the end. Good luck trading this week. If you're interested, I have a free Telegram. Check the link in the bio. Not link in the bio, link in the description. And I also have my Instagram on there. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit the comments or just DM me on Instagram. I'll be happy to reply. So good luck trading, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.